want to hear from you.
The president is aware that we have a security problem here.
I don't know which area you stay in Lagos. There is no light again. No. These investors, are they not hearing that there is no light in Nigeria?
Whether somebody loots or somebody will not loot, a lot of things will happen.
Why is Tinubu doing this to us?
Join Kofi Battles for engaging debates, expert insights, and your voice at the heart of every discussion. Don't just listen, participate. Tune in and be part of the conversation. Only on 99.3 Nigeria Info. Every morning, as the sun rises over this vibrant city of Lagos, we'll be right here with you. Diving into discussions that matter, we'll tackle the headlines, explore stories that shape our lives, and dissect the issues that keep us awake at night. That's not all. The Morning Crossfire is your platform too. Your thoughts, your opinions, they all have a place right here. From politics to business and the economy, from the social issues to the heart of the city. I'll be your companion, your source of information, and your partner in exploration. And it's just not about the headlines. It's about the conversations we have, the connections we make, and the impact we create. Your insights matter, your questions matter, and your energy matters. So whether you're in traffic, having breakfast, or starting your workday, I'll be right here, keeping you informed and engaged. So Lagos, stay tuned, set your alarms, and mark your calendars, and let's kickstart our mornings together, right here on the Morning Crossfire on 99.3
Live from the heart of Victoria Island, you're listening to your number one station, 99.3 Nigeria Info. This is Morning Crossfire on 99.3 Nigeria Info.
Lagos, welcome back. It's still the Morning Crossfire right here at 99.3 Nigeria Info. Like your reports, situation reports, tell us what's happening as far as the petrol supply situation is concerned, where you are. Are you on the queue? Have you been on the petrol queue today, yesterday, as we speak? Have you had reason to buy petrol? How much have you bought it for? Which petrol stations are selling? If you have any report for us, the ongoing situation, please do not hesitate to share with us right here on the Morning Crossfire. Also, if you've been on the road, maybe using public transportation, please tell us exactly how much you're paying. What was it before? What are you having to pay now? We want to know the effect of the latest fuel price hike on your life. And of course, exactly what is happening out there in town. We would like to know. That being said, a very good morning to you. For those of you who are just joining us, we've been here since 5 o'clock and we'll be here till 9 o'clock. My name is Kofi Bartels. The Morning Crossfire comes your way every single weekday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday from 9 a.m. to 5 a.m. to 9 a.m. And today will be no different. We're going to talk for development. Please have your say in today's conversation. We're looking at the facts behind the recent petrol price hike. Of course, today's Thursday, so it was on Tuesday that our guest this morning sent me a message on WhatsApp saying that he has a meeting going on with stakeholders in the oil and gas in the petroleum sector, that he's expecting there might be an upward review of the price of petrol. And he joins us this morning right here to tell me what he knows about the current petrol price hike. Here's a former chairman of the Independent Petroleum Marketers Association of Nigeria and Rivers State, former chairman of the Rivers Indigenous Petroleum Marketers Association. I hope I'm right, Doc. You think I forgot that one?
You're right.
Okay. We go way back. And of course, he is a former governorship candidate of the African Action Congress. He is an oil and gas industry expert, Joseph Obele. Good morning. And he's a lecturer at the Ignatius Ajuri University of Education in Rivers State. And of course, the Kensa River Polytechnic, also in Rivers State. Dr. Joseph Obele, good morning to you.
Kofi, thank you for having me. Greeting here from Rivers State.
All right. And we want to express our sincere, heartfelt condolences to you. You lost your dear mother, and who was buried over the weekend, if I get it correctly. So we want to.
You're right.
Yes.
He was buried on Saturday.
On Saturday, we want to extend our heartfelt condolences to you on the transition of Madame Dada Obele, who was 60 years old and lived from 1958 to 2024, with a burial happening on Saturday, right there in River State, at Alessa Eleme, which is your community. So, Dr. Joseph Obele, Sir Dr. Joseph Obele, our hearts go out to you.
Thank you. Thank you for your prayers.
Yes, may the soul of Ma Dada Obele, Madam Ma Dada Obele, rest in peace. Doc, so let's start from, and we appreciate that despite the difficult circumstances you are joining us. Let's start from the point you messaged, you sent us some messages, and you were trying to tell us, there's a meeting going on Tuesday. Let's go from there. What really happened on Tuesday? Can you walk us through what happened on Tuesday, as far as you know, that led to this current situation we're seeing?
Okay, earlier before Tuesday, the template for PMS, as it concerns the buying rate of PMS by marketers, should be 566 naira per liter. So, and this template involved the three off-takers. Take note of the three off-takers. The three off-takers, one is what we call major marketer, the conglomerate of the 8 biggest marketers, the foreign marketers, call them Oando, Major, the former Tezaco, AP, Fort Oil. Combination of the 8 is called, they're in association called MoMA, which is called major marketers. And the second off-takers is independent petroleum marketers. And the third one is what we call the NNPC retail marketers. So these are the 3 off-takers of NNPC. Take note of this fact I want to drop to you. Major marketers can adjust price arbitrarily. Independent marketers can adjust price arbitrarily. But the NNPC retail marketers, they are not association. Like major marketers, they are association. IPMA, they are association. But the NNPC retail marketers, that is a wing of NNPC forward integration aspect of their business strategy. So it is practically impossible for NNPC retail marketers to adjust price upward because it's controlled by a corporate organization called NNPC Limited. So for you to see any upward review by NNPC retail marketers, it is obviously a directive. It is obviously a directive. So coming to see the subsequent deniers to say, no, we never authorize, it is practically impossible for NNPC retail marketers to adjust price because they are controlled by a corporate organization, not like association like ours. And recall, the law governing association said membership to association is not really compulsory, it's not really necessary. So like we that are controlled by association, we can adjust price arbitrarily. So what happened on Tuesday was a directive given to all the NNPC retail marketers to adjust price upward. In view of that, there was an instant threat by NUPENG, by Nigeria Labour Congress, by IPMA National Leadership, by Pengasan National Leadership. Arising for that threat, same on Tuesday around 2 p.m., there was an emergency meeting that ended inconclusively. But there is a clause to that meeting. The clause was like, suspend action while this negotiation commences. So as I speak to you right now, since 2 days now, loading has been suspended. And that will further worsen the supply chain network. Reason because they have advised NNPCs to suspend loading at that new rate. But at the selling point, retail outlets, NNPC marketers are still selling on the new rate as directed, which is close 890, 880, and 900 thereabout. But the truth be told, as it concerns independent petroleum marketers, we have a buying portal given to us, and as an innovation, reformation by Mr. Hobbs Stockman, a foreigner, the new MD of NNPC Retail Limited. And we applauded him for that, because years before then, we've been buying manually. So he brought this innovation that marketers can buy on the portal, and the portal is about 3-4 years old today. And by the portal, at the comfort of your bedroom, you just click in on the portal and marketer you buy. It will interest you to know, Kofi, that for 99 days today makes it 99 days, the said portal has been shut down, where we do buy at 566. And now these 566 was putting the price range around 580, 570, the selling rate at retail outlets. So as we speak now, if 99 days, the portal has been shut down, hence marketers have been buying. You may want to ask, how have they been getting the called the independent marketers? And I'll put to you, we have been buying from third parties, giving this product by NNPC. And as of yesterday, marketers were buying at here in River State for 1,050 naira per liter from these third parties. So how could NNPC, being the sole importer of this commodity to Nigeria, not allocating to marketers directly at 566, rather they are giving to third parties? Most times we buy from fourth parties, fifth parties at outrageous rate, but the official rate should be 566. So what is really happening? So Kofi, I hereby charge you as investigative journalist to verify why are they shut down this portal from 24,000 marketers for about 99 days today, where we should ordinarily be buying at 560s, but they are allocating it to their girlfriends, to their friends at outrageous cost, and we are buying from third parties that are not marketers. I, as the head of a stakeholder of Ipman, I wanted to buy yesterday. My portal is shut down, but the product owned by NNPC is available with third parties. Kofi, don't be surprised. You can have the stock to sell to me. It's available with third parties, and we are buying from third parties. So who is the person that have suspended the allocation or the buying portal for marketers, hence giving to third parties, and marketers are now falling back to third parties to buy from third parties? So all this chain of connection contributed to the rate of which we are buying it, the general public are buying it in the market. But it's quite obvious, like you asked, what really happened on Tuesday. So what happened on Tuesday was the retail outlet, which I stated that practically impossible to adjust, calling the NNPC marketers. They adjusted their price, and while doing that, Nigerians reacted. And rising from that reaction, there was an emergency meeting convened by NNPC top management. In that meeting, the threat was so much from Nigeria Labour Congress, Nupeng and Pegasan. On that note, they reached a resolution because NNPC, Kofi, truth be told, as of last week, landing cost was close 1,300 naira per liter. So it's becoming worrisome, it's becoming heavy on them to buy at 1,003, 1,002 and sell to us Nigerians at 600, 700. The gap is huge, the expenses is huge. Hence, what they describe as importation cost or recovery was what they have refused to call subsidy. Recall, on the 29th May 2023, last year, Mr. President, during his inaugural speech, used that word, said subsidy is gone. And Mr. President, his word should be his bond. So there's no government official that will come back to say, what we are paying is subsidy. But I want to tell you what they describe as a PMS importation cost, what they describe as recovery, they are all subsidy in disguise. Right. And they will keep denying that they are not paying subsidy going further. But what has happened now has cleared all the doubt, and it's a clear indication that we are still paying subsidy. At the moment, landing cost is close to 1,003. And if you want to buy at Kofi, let me put this to you. Yeah. Even at 890 as directed, there is still subsidy on it. And if subsidy completely eradicated at this hour, Nigerians will buy fuel close 1,600 naira per liter. So what I have noticed is that government is gradually getting there. It is a gradual step-by-step removal to 100% subsidy. But I think they are scared, just offering it one time and Nigerians will start buying fuel at 1,600. It's quite unfortunate. I sympathize with Nigerians. Right. Reason because as of yesterday, the degree of Nigeria inflation was still put at 34.3%. And it's worrisome. As Sri Lanka, about 5 years ago, there was an inflation rise by just 8% and all marched to the streets. So no, we can't take it. But in Nigeria, 8% implies that the bread you were buying about 1,000 had an increment of like 10 kobo. But Nigeria bread you were buying 1,000 is now 3,000, which is I will call it 300% inflation, 300% increment of commodities. Kofi, the basic issue that is affecting our leadership is this nothing will happen syndrome, this nothing will happen mentality. If they have at the back of their mind that a little adjustment of 1 kobo can spark reactions, I think they will now abort that thought and that mentality of nothing will happen. Okay. So they are so sure, they are so optimistic that no matter what they do to us, nothing will happen.
Yeah.
And I've been going away with that.
So you're saying interesting thoughts. So throwing the lines open now, 0201 277 0993, 0201 277 0993. Please feel free to call 0201 465 7190, 0201 465 7190. We'll try to understand what's going on. So we say the true story, the facts behind the NNPC's increase in the pump price of petrol for their retailers. There's been no general, fixing of prices, but they are the ones, their retail, arm. They've taken up the prices that they sell the petrol at, and everybody's also adjusting. We want to throw the lines open. Doc, I have a lot of questions to ask you, but I want the listeners to come in at this point. 99.3, good morning. What's your name?
Good morning, Kofi.
Welcome. You've had our guest to speak. Your name and your contribution, please.
Yes. I have a very short question for him.
All right.
He just spoke about the inabilities of the marketers to buy directly.
Yeah.
Because according to him, his own portal has been shut down. Who are the third parties that he kept mentioning that they have been buying fuel from? Thank you.
All right, thank you very much. Doc, yesterday we had a colleague of yours yesterday on the program who was saying that, they're buying from certain depots here, depots there, and all that. So who are these third parties you're talking about?
Okay, Kofi, let me tell you the operations of the private depots. The private depots were built and constructed by owners of the depots, but they were not operated by owners of the depot. Kofi, you can walk to NNPC towers now and they can allocate you 10 million metric tons of PMS, and you will now meet the owners of the private depots, and you sign what we call throughput agreement, that you are bringing your stock to store. So 99% of the stocks available at these depots are not owned by the owners of the depots, but they were owned by who was allocated product to NNPC via relationship or via political whatever influence or whatever. Now, I haven't gotten it and deposited in a particular depot. Now, we coming to buy from you, Kofi PSC, you are not ordinarily the party we should be buying from. We should be buying from NNPC directly. Hence, we describe you as a third party.
All right, because I've been wondering, since NNPC is a sole importer of petrol, where these depots are getting their petrol from, if they are importing it clandestinely. We have an ex-listener, 99.3, good morning.
Good morning, Kofi.
Welcome. Please go on your name, location, and contribution or question.
Okay, my name is Pastor Ladipo.
Welcome.
Calling from Sari Gomo.
Welcome.
Kofi, please, I want to ask your guest. He said the meeting was conveyed. Is there any hope now that NNPC has a plan of bringing down the cost of these current charges now? That is one. Two, what happened? Who are these particular third party they keep mentioning? Because the president said subsidy gone. Does it mean that they just change the name, or the team has automatically or truly gone? Thank you.
All right, thank you very much. Doc, I hope you heard his question, so I'll hand it over to you.
No, I think he asked the same question about the third parties that I've explained. Let me explain again. I said ordinarily, the direction for we to buy is from NNPC, and we buy from the portal. And I said 99 days now, the portal has been shut down. And how are we getting it? We get from third parties, and third parties again, to define the third parties. Owners of the depots are not owners of the stocks at the depots, but owner of the stock are signed by NNPC. We sign what is called throughput agreement, they call it by percentage or per liter agreement. So 99% of the stocks at all these private depots are not owned by owners of the depots, but they were owned by who was privileged. It could be political, or could be friendship, could be gain friendship or whatever, to get these stocks from NNPC. Now you will not discharge these your stocks at private depot, a particular private depot. So we marketers coming to buy from you, hence it is described as a third party, because you are not the real party we should be buying from. So the rate you fix, no person will monitor your rate, and it will be outrageous.
All right, quite interesting. He asked a question about a subsidy, that if a subsidy was removed when President Bola Tinubu came in and he informed Nigerian subsidy is gone, why are we still where we are? If they took their hands off it, what happened?
Okay, let me give a straight answer to that. When Mr. President, during his inaugural speech, fuel was close 1 something, 2 something.
190.
So when he said, yes, when he said subsidy is gone, as at that very moment, we started buying at 5 something. At that 5 something, it was zero subsidy because landing cost was close 4 something. All the variables put together was about 500 and something. So that 580, 590, it was selling them.
Dr. Joseph Obele, I'm sorry, we want to take a commercial break. When I come back, you give us the breakdown of this subsidies gone matter. We'll be right back.
Yes?
You're cooking again?
My sister, you know I like to keep my family happy.
So you use Tasty Tom?
Of course.
This stew is so red and thick.
Tasty Tom tomato mix enriches my meals with an appealing and appetizing red color.
So Tasty Tom is this red and thick?
Yes, so.
It's also tasty.
Can we have more, please?
I am going to get my own Tasty Tom tomato mix. My family deserves to be happy too.
Yes, sir. With Tasty Tom tomato mix, you can give your family more of meals that make them happy. It's thick, tasty, and enriches your meals with an appealing red color. It's enriched with vitamins and fiber that are good for the body. Tasty Tom for tasty meals.
When it's football you want, get it all on DSTV. All the leagues, all the cups, all the matches live. Because when it comes to football, we've got it all. All day, all night. No matter what package you're on, you're always going to get football on DSTV.
Get an HD decoder at the promo offer of 22,900 Naira and stay connected. DSTV, your home of football.
Every morning, na better chance to carry your hustle go higher level. So, make you start your day with the correct taste of Nescafe. Start strong, finish strong. Nescafe.
Ida of trading himself. James, hello.
Susan, I beg. Say you the wine me.
For where? You who no longer depend solely on your salary.
So you people trade and don't carry us along in this office, Abby?
Jerry, now you they talk like this. Who doesn't want an extra stream of income? But I'm still looking for better trading conditions, I beg. Fast execution of my trades and possibly an account where swap no go carry all my profits where I no know.
Guy, HFM.com.
For me, I wouldn't mind better spreads at all, and it won't be a bad idea to be able to make withdrawals in a flash.
All we want is transparency and great customer service.
Guys, I said HFM.com.
Which one is HFM.com again?
Switch to HFM today to enjoy ultra-fast execution, 1 to 2,000 leverage, tight spreads, swap-free, and more.
Guy, show us the way now.
Wait, are you sure deposits and withdrawals are sharp?
I said HFM.com. Visit www.hfm.com. HFM, online trading at its finest.
Everything surely comes to an end. That dinner, that mushy movie, even that long traffic. But there's one thing that doesn't. Enjoy truly unlimited data with Airtel Unlimited Speed-Based Plans. Visit www.airtel.com.ng/HBB to buy now. Airtel, a reason to imagine.
It's time for back to school. Looking for a reliable pen? With Big Crystal Original, forget your worries. It flows smoothly over paper. No more running out of ink. Big Crystal Original is the pen that writes up to 3 kilometers for your notes, exams, and scribblings during class. Big Crystal Original, a pen you can rely on.
Price of market for the country won't carry person go where you not know.
That will not be true, Toko. Because Samsung Blue Tag sales don't show with Obele offers will make sense well like waka enter any approved Samsung store. Buy a Galaxy Z Fold 6 or trade in your old Samsung device them and you go collect free double door refrigerator will carry 20 years warranty plus digital inverter will get voltage control plus correct cooling with the circulate well for maximum freshness. Discounts for Samsung Galaxy A55, A15 and A05 series. It reach 70K with a come out for the phones. Promo go start from August 19th. Then let's talk finish. Terms and conditions deal.
Oh, why is the water still leaking? And how do I find a plumber around here now?
You are seriously worrying yourself?
Are you going to do the plumbing work for me?
Nah, with Workman, I don't have to do guesswork. You can get reliable plumbers around you in minutes. Download the Workman app today from your Play Store or iOS and get service providers help you get what you need done, ranging from hairdresser, plumber, electrician, carpenter, bricklayer, mechanic, and others.
You don't mean it.
See, I just requested for a plumber for you. He should be here soon.
Oh, thank you so much.
Thank Walkman. To find Walkman app, just type WRK Man on your Play Store and you will see. Download Walkman now and get a discount of 3,000 Naira on your first use with the promo code RADIO. Need help? Get help. Get help.
Start your day and have a good time.
Kivo Creamer.
And where you need to have the break time.
Kivo Creamer.
If not tea or margarita.
Kivo Creamer. Kivo Creamer.
99.3 Nigeria Info.
Your number one station for talk. Let's talk. Let's talk. Live from the heart of Victoria Island, you're listening to your number one station, 99.3 Nigeria Info. This is Morning Crossfire on 99.3 Nigeria Info.
Lagos, Nigeria, wherever listening to from the world, welcome back. It's still the Morning Crossfire right here on 99.3 Nigeria Info. For the past few months, weeks, let me call it, going 8 weeks now, Nigerians have been queuing to buy petrol with a biting petrol scarcity that has ravaged the nation. 8 weeks and counting, Nigerians having to queue overnight, sleep on the road, sleep on the streets, just so that they can be part of those who will get petrol for the next day. Some are spending 2 days in queues, 2 nights in queues just to get petrol. And in the midst of that, a biting economic hardship occasioned by the removal of petrol subsidy or so, the government likes us to believe, and Nigerians had to pay, some of them 600 naira per litre, going from above 600 naira per litre, going from 190 naira per litre in May 2023. Huge increase. Nigerians grappling with that, the effect of that on the economy, on prices of goods and services, on inflation, only for, of course, for everyone to realize or to hear that the price of petrol is going up again in the midst of what the previous increase had done to Nigerians, going up to 855 naira in some cases, 1,000 naira, and other cases above 1,000. Yours truly bought petrol on Tuesday night for 920,000 naira per litre. And like most of you, what we used to fill my tank just got me half of the tank. That means that if you use the same car that I do, a very simple old car, you may be spending 60,000 naira to fill your tank. So how much are you earning to be able to survive at 60,000 naira filling your tank, and then you're paying 250% higher for electricity? So you then realize that for the average person in this country, your money is going, apart from food, you're spending more on petrol for your transportation, your vehicles, your gens or whatever, and you're spending more on electricity than you're spending for food and for rent. That's the way it is going. Anyway, today we're talking about the pause. We're talking about the issue, to do with the end. We're taking a pause, on a Health Thursday conversation and discussing a very pressing issue, which is something that affects the pyramid. The whole pyramid. That's a petrol price hike, as Nigerians woke up on Tuesday to see a change in the pump price from around 600 naira to 855 naira to the litre and above, and above. Our guest this morning is trying to give us the facts and the true story behind this latest drama, and he's Dr. Joseph Obele. He is a former chairman of the Independent Petroleum Marketers Association of Nigeria. He's a lecturer at the Ignatius Ajiru University of Education right there in River State, and the Ken Sariwa Polytechnic also in River State. Dr. Joseph Obele joins us virtually. You can watch a live stream on Facebook. Go to Nigeria Info FM on Facebook, or you can search for Nigeria Space Info Space 99.3. On YouTube, search for Nigeria Info FM, where we're streaming live, and you can drop your comments on the live stream also on X, where we're at Nigeria Info FM. The Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited announced that effective from September 3, the new pump price will be 897 naira per litre. Of course, this is coming just days after the NNPC said it was heavily constrained by the huge debt it owes its international suppliers. The debt is estimated to be 6.8 billion US dollars after the initially denied it. Doc, before we went on the break, a listener asked about, or since President Tinubu said subsidy is gone on May 29, 2023, and subsidy was taken away. What happened? Where comes from? Whence comes the $6 billion that they own, and now they have to remove and if you must pay without subsidy 1,600. What's happening?
Okay, Mr. President, on 29th of May, when he did mention that subsidy is gone, obviously the price moved from 190 to 560, 570, 580 then. That was official rate there without any dime being paid or budgeted for subsidy. So, in the marketing environment, when you rely on uncontrollable variables, it becomes unpredictable. You can't really predict what happens. So, arising from the Russia-Ukraine war, arising from the Israel attack on Gaza, a lot of things happen in the international market. And like I mentioned, that the international market becomes uncontrollable. So, fuel price now move, landing costs now move from 500 as it were then to about 600, 700. And NNPC started calling it recovery.
Okay, is this because of the... Sorry, sir. Sorry for the interruption. Is it because of the exchange rate, volatile nature of the exchange rate, and the fact that it was...
I described all that constituted the rise from 5 something to 9 something. Today is about 1,300, 1,200 thereabout. So I call it uncontrollable variables. All right. Uncontrollable variables in the international market. This is one particular reason why we say, if we are refining here locally, now the variables turn to controllable variable, internal variables, because we have this crude oil internally here in Nigeria, we have the refinery capacity here in Nigeria. So the factors of external variables will not really descend on us with grave consequences as it is today. So when you rely on the international market, whatever happens to the international market invariably affects your local market at the dispensing unit, call it the retail outlet. So what for now, landing cost is about 1.3. Because if I put to the next 7 days, if anything happens to the international market and it moves to 2,000, it will reflect as such locally. So how come we will not fast forward? How come we will not be fast, be smart about refining locally, so that all the events and international market will not have impact on us? So the time we should start refining locally is now. The time to stop waiting further is now. So, and Kofi, I put this to you. Last time you were asking me about the status of the ongoing rehabilitation. By Prozi, I happen to be a host community member. I'm from Alesseleme, where I have this finance Alesseleme, and this, as a stakeholder, our oversight function will go to the establishment every day. I will tell you the truth. As at this hour, technical jobs are done, mechanical jobs are done, civil jobs are done, instrumental jobs are done. The plant is good to go. And a lot of Nigerians are asking, how come production has not really commenced? What is delaying the production? I think the plant is on right now, it's running. But how come they are not discharging the first truck? How come the product has not hit the market? So a lot of questions keep pointing out to, so long as the importers of these products are still smiling to the bank, so long as private depot owners are still smiling to the bank, I think we take a time and we'll be hearing a lot of unrelated issues concerning the delay.
All right. Interesting. Please keep your calls coming through. 0201-277-0993. 0201-277-0993. Price in petrol, hike in petrol price. What is a true story? What are the facts behind this development? 0201-277-0993. Female line, 02-465-7190. 02-465-7190. We have more calls coming through. Hello, good morning.
Good morning, Mr. Kofi. Good morning to your guest as well.
Welcome, good morning. Your name and
I'm Mr. Obele calling from Ikorodu.
Welcome.
So I stand corrected, but if I heard your guest properly this morning, he said subsidy is entirely gone. That was why the president added, that was why the current petrol price. so that there will no longer be subsidy. That was why it was increased from its former price to this present price. I want a clarification on that.
He said he said when President Tinubu made that speech, when he came down, indeed subsidy was gone because the landing cost was at that 560, 600 Nigerians were paying it. But he said international events and occurrences, non-controllable variables, for instance exchange rate and others, meant that landing cost went up. But because the government could not immediately increase the pump price because of fear of backlash from Nigerians, they had to be paying for the difference, which they call, shortfall recovery, cost recovery, and all that. Yeah. Okay.
Now, that same backlash, they didn't look at it, and they wholesomely increased it to this level. So him as a body, their group as a body, because I know Nigerians know what they're supposed to do at this point in time without being propelled, pushed, or cajoled. Now, them as a body, what are they also doing? If he's speaking so passionately, what are they doing as a body to say, okay, we don't want this. This is what we want? That's my question. Thank you very much.
Thank you for your time. You and IPMAN, Dr. Obele, you have your major problem is that you can't get the product from NMPC. You are being sent to third and fourth parties. We had the national press chairman of IPMAN the other day on the program, but he kept saying we should hold on, that things will be okay and all that. What do you think IPMAN can do or is doing, if you're aware of any, to get to the bottom of this non-availability of the product for 99 days now from NNPC?
Kofi, the best we can do is to be sincere to Nigerians, which we are doing over here, to let Nigerians know that the platform where we should be buying at 5cc has been shut down for 99 days today. So Nigerians should come to our aid. That's the best we can do.
All right. You want Nigerians to come to your aid? Okay, we have a message here. This one says the removal of fuel subsidy by Tinubu's administration is not a bad move. At the time fuel subsidy was removed, pump price did not hit 600 naira. However, Tinubu's administration made a blunder by floating the naira. This impacted on the cost of all imported products, including fuel. Thank you very much. I don't see your name on the message. Another one here says ABC government is scam. Okay, that's not what we're talking about. Dyer Williams is in Egbe, Lagos. He says the price of PMS will not get any lesser, hence the government still can't face the truth. I'm worried why we can't see our refineries working to optimization, particularly from the government. Hijacked of the sector by third parties is sad. The clandestine plot to shut down the portal is to favor a few. Now you understand why they won't have NNPC or Dangote refineries work. Okay, another one says, I don't agree with your guess that landing cost is above 1,000 naira. Even the NNPC cannot tell us that because they are not buying with cash. He is taking the words out of my mouth because I was about to ask you about that direct sale, direct purchase program. I think he was arrested. We also have the crude oil swap. So he's saying you can't say the landing cost is 1,000 naira because NNPC is not buying the petrol with cash. Doc.
You see, sometime late last year, there was an agitation or a protest that is so important shouldn't just be NNPC. Arising from that, the Ministry of Downstream Regulatory Agency now licensed 5 marketers to test the market, and the 5 marketers imported the product and they sold it at loss, and the 5 marketers disappeared from the market today. So the scale we are using to inform the general public was these 5 marketers that tested the market. And as I did, they said it landed at 1,100 naira per liter. And NNPC management from their books and the rest. As at last.
Yeah, we have you back. Joseph Obele, can you hear me, please?
I can hear you, Kofi. I'm here with you.
Oh, yes, go on. We're listening to you.
You said somebody was doubting, having a doubt if landing cost was over 1,000 naira, and I've just explained to you that 5 marketers tested the market last year, and after importation, it was a huge loss to them, and it's on the media out there for the general public. Yeah. And they mentioned that it landed at 1,100 naira per liter. This was last year, and I'm putting to you that as at last week, it was close 1,213 per liter.
Okay, but we had this NNPC DSTP program, and then we also had because what the listener is asking is that he says NNPC, in his opinion, is not paying with cash. So how can they say landing cost is 1,000 naira?
Kofi, we have different modes of payment, and all comes to analysis and closing of the books after reconciliation. So if NNPC are saying we have PMS importation losses and shortfall, call it differentials, call it recovery. All this I told you is subsidy in disguise, because no government official will want to come back after Mr. President have said subsidy is gone to say they are still paying subsidy.
Okay, so this direct sale, direct purchase program was ended. The crude oil swap program was ended. I saw a report from earlier this year that said that they were still swapping. You're saying that, as far as you know, they're not doing any of this anymore, and so they're paying cash for the petrol. Is that what you're saying? That NNPC
No,
is paying
there are
cash?
a lot of contract agreements, Kofi. If you have cassava in stock and you bought some shoes from me and you want to use, and I'm interested in your cassava, this is not really swapping per se, but we call it balancing. So if a particular refinery in Netherlands are interested in Nigerian crude oil from NNPC, and NNPC are interested in the refined product from this refinery, this is not swapping. Swapping is you don't take into consideration the byproduct and the value of the product. But in balancing, we call it balancing in accounting. In balancing, you take into consideration the value of what I'm giving you, as it has to be equal to the value of what I'm getting. So that's not a crime in payment of what has been consumed. It's not a crime.
Okay. What constitutes this 1,000 naira, 1,200 or 300 naira landing cost?
About seven variables.
Yeah.
Number one of the variable and the most troubling one is the cost of foreign exchange. Number two is the cost of the refinery product at the foreign refinery. Number three is foreign import charges. And number three is cost of mother vessel and cost of recall that the Atlantic Ocean can only bait the mother vessel. That the Lagos port cannot really bait the mother vessel. Hence, when the mother vessel arrives, baby vessels will go discharge, take transshipping from the mother vessel. So this seven, and when at the port also, you also pay what we call local port charges also, and you pay port charges. So these seven factors that constitute these cost variables. When we are refining locally, 5 will be eliminated. 5 will be eliminated. And when 5 are eliminated, for example, now, Kofi, if your wife is going to buy from a fast food, a plate of rice in the fast food can be 5,000. But when she's now cooking this rice in her kitchen, a lot of those factors that made it 5,000 will be eliminated. And now in her kitchen, a plate of rice can be 2,000. So when people are arguing that refining locally and buying in the international market, all costs will remain the same. No, it's a lie. It will remain the same. 7 of these variables will be eliminated. No, 5 will be eliminated out of the 7, and only 2 will be constant. And price of fuel, when we are refining locally, will be around 300 to 400 naira per liter. So the best time for Nigerians to call that our refinery should commence operation is now, and no other time is better than now.
All right. You are an independent petroleum marketer. You're a retailer in Nigeria. What are your thoughts on the statement or the report that NNPC will take every single drop of Dangote's refined petrol?
See, Kofi, by God's grace, I'm a lecturer of marketing. And in marketing or in economics, we encourage market forces should be the determinant factor for pricing. In view of that, consumers get the best. But when, recall that the defunct PPPRA, Petroleum Prices Regulatory Agency, was in view of executing or implementing the provisions of the PIA, because the PIA eradicate or abort or dismantled anything that has to do with pricing template. So reason because in a real economy, the determinant of price should be forces of demand and supply. So no man at any high place or any low place has the capacity to determine a price of any commodity. When that is happening, consumers will suffer. But when prices are determined by forces of the... So when Dangote used that statement 2 days ago, I wept for Nigeria. I was lamenting in my spirit. How could Dangote say he is waiting? Because journalists now ask him that he should give an estimate how much the price of this product will be. Because he was saying trucking of his product will commence so soon. They now ask him, How much do you think it will be selling? He said government and NNPC will determine the rate. In this country, in this modern age, in this digital age, that somebody will determine a price. They should allow him sell as he wish. Why is selling maybe like 900 naira? Little will you know overnight, someone will go to another market, import, be selling 700. Now, in view of that, Dangote will be forced to sell 500. Why is still doing that? The modular refineries will be forced to sell 300. In view of that, Petrol refinery will be selling 200. So prices will keep crashing so long as there is competition. But when there is no competition, the market becomes stagnant and people will be taking advantage of the consumers. So I am against that statement. I am against any man setting price for any commodity. Now, to recall, when I bought my MTN line, the second week it was launched, I bought it for about 45,000 naira. But today, a SIM card is selling for 1,000, some is selling for 200, as the case may be. Reason because of competition. So I recommend that Nigerian oil and gas sector should allow competition to determine the pricing. In view of this, consumers will have the best price.
All right. Is there no danger that we will see monopolization? Since you're an economics lecturer, I know it means we share a lot in common, because that was what my degree was in. Won't we see this monopoly, coming up, whereby since the federal government has refused to fix its refineries, Dangote is the only working major refineries. Though we have some artisanal refineries, or should I say modular refineries here and there, but he's a major one, and that he will now control how much he can say, okay, I want to charge X amount of money for my petrol. You don't have a choice. Remember what happened to petrol, to his cement. The price of cement, some said, okay, it's too high. Some said it's not too high. BUA came and crashed the price down. He started accusing. So, all these things going on. I mean, I'm not going to say Dangote should fix his price. He is his business, can do what he wants to do with cement. But is there not a danger that if the federal government does not step in to say we are going to be the buyer and we're going to determine the prices, that we may see another monopoly from Dangote?
The fear for monopoly, this is the reason, because of the trade and what we've seen coming, and arising from a SWOT analysis conducted by most of us in the business school. This is why most persons are agitated and are calling for the privatization of these refineries. And recall, in the loan of $1.5 billion obtained from Afzi Bank for the rehabilitation of the Petrol refinery, one of the conditions given by the lender is on the ground that NNPC will not be the manager of the plant after the rehabilitation. Hence, they are signed and agreed. So early this year, when NNPC called for bidding for the privatization, that will eradicate or dismantle the threat for monopoly. So when Dangote, as a private businessman, with his running cost of production, is fixing its price, the private entity operating the government-owned refineries will also fix their price. Recall also, we have two modular refineries running as we speak, Watersmith at Imo State with a production capacity of 5,000 barrels per day, and the Niger Delta refinery at Ahoda in River State with a production capacity of 2,000 barrels per day. The cost of production of this modern refinery will not be the same as the full-scale refinery. So the price of commodity will be less. So if competition is playing, a modular refinery can be selling less, the private refinery will be selling less, and Dangote refinery will be forced. And Dangote, with a man that operates the game theory in marketing, which is aggressive approach to competition, will be dragging its own too. So while there's competition, consumers will enjoy. Competition will benefit the consumers. So the idea that any person will fix the price, I think is not a welcome development. Now, if this is sign that the sole buyer of Dangote Petrol refinery products will be NNPC, then the status quo, what we are suffering right now under this ineffective management of NNPC, will remain the same, because they will now be distributing same channel of that three off-takers, major marketers, independent marketers. The market should be liberated. The market should be open. So I'm against that agreement that the sole buyer, they shouldn't quarantine Dangote that sent to NNPC alone. No, this will not benefit Nigeria.
Okay, but Dangote had already said some weeks ago that about 150,000 members of Moman, Dapman, and Ipman had been registered to take petrol from it.
That was 2 weeks ago, but after 3 days ago, he stated that the only buyer and what they have signed is NNPC.
So have those of you in Ipman, had you heard from any? Did you know, or were you contacted, or was there any sort of registration and all that? You sent your details to Dangote Refinery?
The fear of federal government, why they wanted the NNPC to be the middleman to the rest, is if Dangote hits the market directly, there is this impression that Dangote will be selling retail at his own retail outlet, the wholesale rate. So imagine you're going to buy from 400 naira. You will be thinking to sell 420 at your retail outlet, right? But what if Dangote is selling? Dangote is going to operate 20 retail outlets in all the states in Nigeria. And it's going to sell direct refinery rate. Coffee, all the 24,000 stations will grow with.
All right, thank you very much. Maybe that's where antitrust laws come in, where the government can say if you have a refinery, you cannot, own a petrol station. But hey, NNPC is there. Dr. Joseph Obele, thank you very much for your time. All right, we have to go.
It's called forward integration strategy.
All right.
The owner of a business participate in selling his commodity.
Thank you very much, Dr. Joseph Obele, oil and gas industry expert. We appreciate your time. Thank you very much.
Thank you for having me, Kofi. Thank you.
Yes?
You're cooking again?
My sister, I like to keep my family happy.
So you use Tasty Tom?
Of course.
This stew is so red and thick.
Tasty Tom tomato mix enriches my meals.
99.3 Nigeria Info. We are more than just radio. Subscribe to our YouTube channel at Nigeria Info FM. Check us out on Facebook at Nigeria Info 99.3. Follow us on Twitter at Nigeria Info FM and on Instagram at Nigeria Info FM Lagos for live updates as it happens. 99.3 Nigeria Info. Let's talk. 99.3 Nigeria Info. We are more than just radio.